Soul Foodies. This is Brooke Brimm, founder of the group Vegan Soul Food on Facebook. I am here to do another tutorial. It's Sunday, so it's Tutorial Sunday. But I have something very exciting that's happening today. I am bringing on a special guest. So Kaylin Hall Ewan is going to join us, and we're both going to make macaroni and cheeses at the same time. So, do we see her yet? Where we can? Is she
not
watching?
Yet. Oh, nope, not yet.
No. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then we'll bring her on when she comes. That's a good plan. So I'm going to be using the recipe right out of this book, butternut squash mac and cheese. So you can follow along there. And this is a really, really easy recipe, okay? The first thing we're going to do is add some milk. Now, the recipe calls for cashew milk. You can use almond milk. You can use any plant. You can use soy milk. You can use any plant-based milk that you want to use. It's okay. Don't worry about it. No problem. Okay?
How much?
This is 4.5 cups. So this little thing here is 1.5 cups, and I gotta use one more. Yeah, I used 2 of them. I gotta use 3 of them. Okay. So 3 cups of plant milk. Okay. Then I have some raw cashews that I have soaked for about 4 hours. You see how they're kind of white looking and soft? That's what you want. You can do this in the quick soak method, and what that would be is you boil water, you pour it over it, and you wait like an hour. These have soaked about 3 or 4 hours. But you want that white look, real soft. You want them to be soft and kind of look like, and this is a raw cashew. This is not roasted or anything like that. You don't want anything like that. You want the raw cashew, okay? Raw, unsalted. So far I have 4.5 cups of milk, 1/2 cup of raw cashews, and then I'm going to add some yellow mustard, which is 3 tablespoons of yellow mustard. And again, I have this measuring deal here. It is 1.5, so I'll use 2 of these. Squeezing out kind of hard. Okay, so that's 1. The mustard gives it a little bit of a nice bite, which you want. You want that bite. Okay. Let's see if I can pull it out a little bit. It's really not that much there. Okay. So that's the mustard. I'm gonna put that in the sink. Next, I have 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. This is going to give it a little smoky flavor. And this is a 2 teaspoon measurement. The spoon is already 2 teaspoons. So now it asks for 1 ounce of Himalayan salt. Now that looks like quite a lot of salt, and it is. But this recipe calls for a lot of salt because a lot of things are bland. So I'm going to hold some of it out because Himalayan pink salt is not always created equal, and you don't always know what you're getting. So just to be sure, I'm holding it out. So it also asks for 2 cups of nutritional yeast. And this one I got from Sprouts in the supplement area. So keep that in mind. So 3/4 and 3/4 is 1.5. And then we're just going to do 1/2 cup. Which brings us to, what did it call for? 2 cups. Yeah, that brings us to our 2 cups. Okay. I'm having to be exact because I'm doing this from the cookbook. Usually I just throw things in and eyeball it. Okay, so.
Okay, so Kaylin is watching, but
Perfect.
I can't
Okay,
see how to bring her on.
Can't. Can
Kaylin,
she request to come on?
You tell her.
So
the camera.
see if there's a thing, Kaylin, for you to request to be brought on live while you're watching.
There we go.
Okay, good.
Okay, she requested it, but
It's giving us a little bit of a time. I'm gonna keep letting you do that while I keep cooking.
all right, you can keep talking.
Okay, so what I have here is banana nut squash, and what I did was this was a fresh banana nut squash. I peeled it, I chopped it into cubes, and then I put it into my pressure cooker back there, and then I blended it and I made a puree. And this is 2 cups. Now we are over our limits. It should go down a bit on what we can do inside of the blender. So I'm probably gonna have to take some of this out. I don't think I ever noticed that before. Or, I don't know. All right, so then I'm gonna put this on the blender here. Now this is my high-speed blender, and I'm just gonna put it on sauce. Okay, and I'm gonna pour some of this out so that I can blend some more. Whoops, I splattered it in my face.
Okay, looks like she's coming on.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Hello, Kaylin.
Hi, Brooke. I'm here.
Good, good, good. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna finish making my mac and cheese, just the sauce, and
So
then
if you want to take a second to get her there.
let's see if I can get you here so I can look at you. Hold on. Oh,
Yeah,
there you are. There. That's it. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, I think this is it.
So you should see my setup.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Let me just because I want to be able to look at you.
Okay.
So it's there, but
It says it's having trouble playing. Okay. View post. Let's see if
but
that's.
she
Oh, there
is
it is.
on.
Okay, there we go. All right. It's not playing.
She is on here.
Okay, so that's perfect. So what I'm going to do, Kaylin, is I'm going to continue to make my sauce, and then once I get done with the blender and everything, then you can start with yours. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So okay, so I'm going to blend this one more time. I'm going to cut it short, and I got to put the garlic cloves in there, and then also that was 10 cloves of garlic, and then 1.5 cups of oil. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to just dump that in there. Some people feed it through the hole. I don't do that. I just dump it in. So you can feed it through this hole here slowly. It makes it thicker, but I just, you know, dump. why it doesn't want to let us see it. I have my, let's clear a lot of this stuff off. I have my noodles all ready.
How'd you prepare those?
They were just salted with water according to the package. These are regular elbow macaronis. Now, this is what I prefer, this brand, but you see this is in a penne. It's hard for me to find the elbow in this. The reason why I prefer it is because it is a lentil and pea protein. It's a lot of protein in it, and I really like that. But I can't always find it in the regular elbow. Sometimes I'll make my macaroni out of the penne, but I just wanted to show you that brand to tell you that I like the protein in it. Everybody might not like that. That's just a thing for me. So I'm pouring the sauces in. And Kaylin, we're gonna focus on you in just a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Do you take questions? Because there was
Sure.
a couple of questions. Okay, so somebody asked, is that butternut squash?
Yes, it is butternut squash. I got a fresh one, and I peeled it, chopped it up, and put it inside of my electric pressure cooker. And for about, I think it was about 18 minutes, it came out nice and soft, and then I pureed it. Okay, so this one that I'm making is the the butternut squash macaroni and cheese, and Kaylin is going to make one from a roux with some store-bought cheese and other ingredients. So they're both of these recipes are inside of the holiday guide. Now, you see how this is really, really saucy? That's how you want it to be. You want it to be, you know, overly like, because this is going to bake up into creamy goodness. So you do want it to be liquidy like that. So this one is ready to go into the oven. As you can see, I have some sauce left over. I always tend to have sauce left over. I freeze it and I keep it. So just keep that in mind. You may have some sauce left over. You can sprinkle some of the paprika on the top and to decorate it. And then into the oven it goes for 350 for about 45 minutes. Yeah. And it's ready to go. So now let's turn our attention. If there are no more questions about this one, we can turn our attention to Kaylin.
There was one other question about what blender you used, and then if this is going to be recorded. I said it would show up later in the group, like a regular live.
You can definitely watch the replay on this. What was the other question?
And the other question was, what blender were you using?
Oh, okay. The blender is the Blendtec. I've had this Blendtec for since 2007. It has a good warranty on it. Total Blender by Blendtec. And what you usually have to do is just get yourself order a new one of these, and sometimes they're under warranty too. The jar. But I've had this since 2007, right? Isn't that when we bought it? Yeah. So it's a great one. I love it. Some people use the Vitamix. I am a Blendtec girl. So
okay. Yeah.
So maybe when this burns out, I might try the Vitamix, but I'm not expecting it to burn out anytime soon.
Yeah. Still going strong.
Still going strong for how long is that? 13 years.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yes. All right, so let's turn our attention to what you have. That's what you got going on. Let's see if I can watch on my computer. I hope so.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Trying to find out.
Okay. You see
Okay, so we ready?
Yes,
So
ready
you
to go.
see, because my view is just a little blurred, but you should be able to see all the ingredients, the pot I'm going to use to make my sauce in, the pan that I'm going to put the mac and cheese in, and then some of the vegan cheeses over here.
Okay.
If you can see that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Let me see if I can watch you from my computer.
Okay.
But I'm sure I think, can you see it, Haki?
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, you're good to go.
Okay. All right. So basically what we're going to do first, like Brooke said, this is a macaroni and cheese recipe with like a roux sauce that I then add cheese to. I don't have, of course, we're not using eggs, but it's very similar to that kind of soul food your mama and your grandmama liked, could make at Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this is about 1 large tablespoon of vegan butter. I use Earth Balance butter. And then I'm going to sprinkle in some flour.
I'm just listening.
And this is about 2 teaspoons. You usually want to put, equal parts of your flour and your butter. You can also use olive oil because sometimes I don't have the vegan butter. You could do that also.
Okay,
And
that's
so
good to know. Did you see, I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you see the little, the thing I did last week about how Country Crock is vegan and all these like margarines are vegan?
Yes.
That's just something for people to keep in mind. Like if you're out of it's
yes.
a lot of it vegan. Yeah.
Because these vegan butters are like $4, $5, $6, and so
for
if
a
you
very
can get
small
the big
container.
tub, yeah, and so if you can get the big tub, why not? So actually, I watched it today, and so I'm probably going to go ahead and try that when I run out. But I basically have like 3 cups, 2.5, 3 cups here, and so I'm doing half the size of the recipe in the cookbook because I'm making some other stuff for Sunday dinner. Okay. And I don't want to have that big old macaroni left over.
I should have did that too. That's what I should have did. But
yeah, this is part of Sunday dinner, honey. So we're gonna make it work.
Mine is part of Sunday dinner too. I just didn't think to make it smaller. There's only 3 of us.
Okay. I mean, and we also I eat leftovers. Okay, around, so it could last for a nice little while all throughout the week. So I don't know if you can see the sauce thickening up.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep on pouring. You got to be patient. Also, use a whisk because you don't want any clumps in your sauce. That's very, 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 very important. Okay. And I also pre-made my noodles too. I use half of the box. So this will be 2 cups of noodles. When it's cooked, I think it's like 4 or something. I don't know. I'm not a measurement person. I'm going to sprinkle this, a tad of this, a dash of that. So I'm going to do my best for you guys. But the measurements are in the book.
Yes. So yeah, I think I'm just going to read it off while we're watching you. So it's 1 pound box of macaroni, and then so she's cut that in half, and she's using 8 ounces in this recipe. And so everything is just cut in half. But when it's Thanksgiving and the holidays, you have a lot more people eating, a lot more portions.
Exactly.
A couple times, so you might have to double the recipe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To make 2 pans.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That might be too hot.
That roux looks good. Very good. I love it.
Thank you. Just want to make sure my pan doesn't get too hot on me. Okay. I'm going to keep on. This is the part where you have to be very patient.
Well, I guess it's really really like, once you get done with the roux, it's really called like a bechamel sauce after that.
Yeah.
But the roux is
basically.
like the powder and the flour and the butter together. Just for
Yep.
people who don't know, yeah.
Yep. It's a lovely process that happens when it comes together.
Yeah. Or you could just call it a white cream sauce, you know, if you don't remember.
Yeah, a white cream sauce is good too. I think I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit more. But usually when you let it cook up, you'll see it start thickening up.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to cook it too high. I usually cook it on like medium. And the whisk, the trick with the whisk is it helps to keep it lump free.
Yes.
Because you don't want lumps of flour in your sauce.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, that's no fun. Okay, so all right, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to season our sauce. I feel like I want just a little bit more milk because you want to have enough sauce to cover your noodles thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't pay attention to time, so I just love on my food however long it takes, so bear with me.
No worries at all. This is helping people who are unsure about how to make their mac and cheese for the holidays. This is a great help to see both of them.
Yeah, and so there's actually so for those that don't know, my husband is Jamaican, so I've had to learn how to Caribbean make. And so now that I'm going vegan, I'm trying to figure out the best way to make everything, to veganize everything that I've already learned how to make. So there's actually a version of macaroni and cheese that the Caribbeans eat called macaroni pie.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one that I want to experiment with. And I'll probably just share the recipe in the group for anybody that's interested.
Oh, and guys, I also want to say, this is important, that Kayla is on Instagram, and we will post that in the comments. She is, let me see if I can post it now. She is Sweet Pea Vegan, right?
Yeah, so Sweet Pepper Vegan. And
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sweet Pepper Vegan. So thank you for that, because I'm just starting my vegan journey and, you know, wanted to document it because I'm sure there's probably some questions that I have that I'm figuring out that other people might have. And so, yes, thank you. So I actually, for the next 30 days, I'm documenting everything that I eat and sharing some of the recipes, like some of my favorite recipes that I come up with on there as well.
Uh-oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Oh, that's ad block. Hold on. No, yeah, it worked. Okay, great. Perfect. So, I put you in there. It says, so what kind of milk? Now, I don't know, was she talking to you? What kind of milk did you use?
I use oat milk. I'm like kind of like biased to oat milk, especially for sauces, because oat milk is very, very thick. It's thicker than the other plant-based milk. Right. And I like stuff thick and creamy.
I think cashew is also good and thick in that way too. And cashew that's another reason why I'm sorry, say it again.
Cashew milk or cashews blended?
Cashew milk is also a nice thick one to use. And that's the reason I also like to use the softened cashews, like just to give it that extra creaminess.
Okay.
But yeah, oat milk is a good one, and it's cheap, and it's one that you can make yourself, which is nice.
Yeah, oat milk, right?
Yeah.
So I just bought some cashews, some raw cashews, to be able to try what you were doing. I want to try. I haven't tried that yet, so I want to try to make a sauce with
the cashews. What kind of flour are you using, Esther?
Unbleached, all-purpose flour. It's King Arthur. Okay. I think his name is King Arthur. It's like a big, huge bag I get from Costco.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Okay.
All right, so let's season up our sauce. I'm going to turn it down while I'm doing this part of it because I don't want it to boil over. But basically, this is like my favorite packaged cheese because it melts very, very, very nicely. and it tastes good. Now, this was before I discovered Whole Foods 365 cheddar. That actually is my favorite, but I haven't used that in macaroni yet, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I use that, and then I take like the little pieces of Follow Your Heart Gouda. And so I have a mixture of that. I would say half of probably like a quarter of a cup I use, and then I used only one slice of cheese instead of two. And so I'm gonna put that in there and keep on stirring. And then I have some nutritional yeast, some Himalayan pink salt. This is garlic powder. This is like some herb seasoning here, onion powder, and turmeric. So all of those portions are inside the recipe. So I just cut it in half. And I'm just gonna pour all of that in there. And then I'm gonna use so Forager cashew cream. It's like this. I don't know if you can see it jiggling, but it's like this creamy cream. And I saw Tabitha use it on one of her recipes, and I was curious about it. And so I put it in there, and I just like how it gives like a creamier texture to things.
Yes. Where did you buy it?
So I actually either buy it from Whole Foods or Mom's Organic Market. Those are usually where we are in the DMV area. That's usually where we can go for some of those specialty vegan items. So I'm just gonna keep on stirring. So the good thing about this is both of these cheeses melt down pretty nicely. And so again, you want to keep on stirring because you don't want clumps. You want the Follow Your Heart cheese really to melt. It gives a very nice taste when it melts down in there. And you should see the sauce is turning yellow because of the shreds as well as the turmeric that I added. And I just like the taste of garlic powder and onion and like everything.
Yes.
So, and then vegetable seasoning, I use there's a Jamaican brand that I use, and then I use for this one I use some Market Pantry brand that I found, which is like garlic and herb or something. But typically it comes with the similar things like freeze dried peppers and carrots and onion and herbs. You can have your thyme or your parsley or just different herbs blended up very nicely together. Always adds a nice flair. So I don't know if you guys can see that okay.
Yeah, we still can see it. It looks nice and golden.
Yeah, golden and then nice and creamy. So you can taste it. Right now is probably a good time to give it a nice little taste here. And then, so as you can see, you can't see any lumps of cheese or anything. You don't see any flour. All you might see is the little speckles of seasoning. That's where you want it to be before you add your noodles.
Nice and smooth and creamy.
Yes. So I'm going to start.
Okay. So tell me, I had a question about something and now I forgot what it was. Oh, why do you use just like small little slices? Sometimes I see people in the group and they use a lot of the vegan cheese in their macaroni and cheese. Why do you use just a slice here and there?
Well, for me, it's the flavor of the Gouda that I like, and Gouda does not come in shreds.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why. When I do like my nacho cheese sauce or any type of cheese sauce, a slice of Gouda cheese is like necessary. So
Okay,
it's something about that. Follow your heart brand.
What's interesting about what you just said there is, see, I use the smoked paprika. So that smoked Gouda that you get from Follow Your Heart will probably give you that same kind of smokiness. That,
Yes.
Yeah, so that smokiness, then you're looking for that in your macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And someone else earlier asked about whether you use paprika. So I hope that answers their question. Now all paprika is not smoked, so I want to say that to V Thomas.
Yeah.
I use the smoked paprika, but there is
Me
also
too.
sweet paprika. Did you
Yeah,
just use it inside of this as well?
No, not in here, but I
Okay.
use smoked paprika in a lot of other stuff that I make.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's a good staple to have for plant-based cooking.
Yeah, that's so yeah, it's just a staple before, and also everyone is not plant-based for me, so I have to find the right combination,
Mm-hmm.
that works for everybody.
Right. Exactly.
So, okay, so at this point, the noodles are nice and covered and coated and nice. I'm gonna take some time to season it again and add. So what I like too is I like a cheesy, like something cheesy on the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like cheesy goodness on the inside too. So in addition to the sauce, I also put, and this is where I think I have the pack here. They have this, which is a mature cheddar.
Yeah.
Like an aged, not like it reminds me of white cheddar, basically.
Now, where'd you get this one from? This epic.
So I found this I ordered this online at Whole Foods. I don't know if they have it at Mom's, but I know it at Whole Foods. And actually, somebody in the group showed that, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder how that would be in a mac and cheese," and it's lovely.
Okay, I'll have to look out for that. I don't go into Whole Foods that often, every once in a while, but
yeah, Whole Foods, it's expensive.
Yeah, I'm a Trader Joe's and Aldi type of girl, but when I want specialty things, I definitely go to special places. So if I'm looking for that one, I will do that. But I'm not a big, and I've said this before on my lives, I'm not a big processed vegan cheese person. I just don't like the texture that much. I haven't found a texture that I love. So I usually just make the cashew cheese or some kind of plant-based cheese that way. But I see a lot of people use it, and I'm not against it. It's just not a thing for me.
Yeah, well, I would say I had a dairy addiction before becoming vegan, so I needed to find something to hold me, honey, because I'm a big cheese person.
Right. So, okay. See, yeah, that's probably
So I went through a few to try to find the one, and no shade to Daya, whoever it is, but that one is not. It doesn't taste as cheesy. So I stick. This one is the one for me. I just found what I like, and I just stick to it. And then Whole Foods 365. What I'll do is I'll come back and I'll post all the cheeses in here, so you can see what they look like. Okay, so now I have the shreds, the mature block shreds and the BioLife shreds, and I'm just gonna pour them in because again, now mind you, I tasted it and I seasoned it a little bit with some salt and pepper. At that point, if you want to add a little more garlic powder, that's when you decide for your taste what you like. And then also, I'm gonna add just a little bit more milk to make it just a little bit more creamy before I put it in the pan and put it in and put the cheese on top of it and then put it in the oven. So when I put it inside, the cheese shreds are still kind of visible.
Yeah.
Because I want them to melt and be gooey in the oven together.
Yes, that's good.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if there's any questions.
Okay.
I don't see it. Just some comments about whole food shreds are excellent. And
okay.
Some people are just starting out on their journey. They're excited about this. Someone said they see it at Whole Foods for $4.99. So this is great. Yeah, so we're getting people talking and just I don't see any direct questions.
Actually, the Whole Foods cheese is cheaper than BioLife.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes, it's cheaper.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Today I went to Kroger and I bought some slices. They had a hot pepper cheddar, and I wanted to try.
Okay. What's in that?
Let me show it to you. See.
Okay, guys. So now I'm just going to spread the rest of my cheddar. I want it fully covered.
Okay.
And this time the cheese sat out for a little while, so I wonder if that helps with the melting. I found that the vegan cheeses don't really melt as quickly, and I was concerned because I wanted it to melt, and so my next time around I covered it with foil for like the first 45 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes I took the foil off. And it had melted. I think maybe the heat that was contained with the foil helped it.
So that's a good tip, guys. Covering it with foil for an hour and then taking it off. I also saw, I've never tried it, but I saw some commenting in the group that people have actually taken the cheese, put it on the stove with with milk, and kind of melt it down a little bit, and then pour that melted over the top of a casserole or a macaroni and cheese so that it melts a little bit. Or even pizza. I even saw someone do that for pizza. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to show you guys some of the cheeses that I have. So just so you can see kind of the variations that are out there while we're talking about cheese. So this is one I bought today. It's Simple Truth from Kroger. It's a hot pepper cheesy slices.
Okay.
I really like the only way that I really can get into the processed cheese, this is because I said it's a texture thing for me. It's not that for everybody, but that's me, is I can eat it cold. So if I eat it on a sandwich, it's good. This is a cheddar style by Simple Truth. This is a leftover, well, I have some of that left. This is from Aldi, a mozzarella.
Oh, you like that one?
Do I like the one from Aldi?
Yeah.
I do. I use it a little bit. And then I got this Trader Joe's one, which is also a mozzarella one. So what are you doing now? You're putting, looks like you're putting vegan butter on the top?
Yeah. I tried that for like the last 2 times. And I just like how it makes it, I don't know, it almost like crisp it a little bit.
Yeah. Makes it crisp and brown.
Yeah, so then that's it, guys. And some people, like, at this point, some people would like to crack black pepper over it again, or if you do your paprika, you can do that. Let me put some foil over top of it.
Okay. Perfect. And what does that makes at 350 for how long?
For an hour.
For an hour. Okay, so about the same as mine.
An hour. Do the first 45 minutes with the foil on it, then take the foil off and do the last 15 without. Some people might want to crank up the heat. I haven't tried that yet because it might make it crispier. I haven't found that right crispiness that I like yet. But,
maybe put it on a low broil for like instead of, this is just a thought. So the last 15 minutes you pull off your foil, but then like the last 5 of that 15, if you put it on a low broil, you might get that browning that you want.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Today. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that's it, guys.
Yeah. This is this one last cheese that I was looking at. This is a
Oh,
Parmesan
yeah.
one. I like this one a lot.
Yeah,
I
me too.
really like this one. Have you tried this one?
Yes, I use that in all of the dishes that require Parmesan. I make a red pepper pasta, and I put that in there. I use, anytime I have to use any type of Parmesan, I use that.
Yeah,
and
this is Follow Your Heart. I like it. And
yeah,
then
Follow Your Heart is a good brand.
Yeah, I bought a Veal Life wedge that I was shredding, which was a Parmesan wedge. I like that one a lot too. I really like it. I'm out. I like it so much that I'm out of it that I can't show you guys. But we're going to go ahead and close this live now. Thank you guys for viewing. What we're going to do is we may come back and do a reveal, or we might just post our pictures in a group of the final product. It depends, because, we're cooking dinner and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see if we can match synergies and do a reveal. If not, you'll just see the pictures in the group. Okay.
And where can we find Kaylin?
And Kaylin, I have her Instagram is inside, listed in the chat. Again, it's Instagram.com at Sweet Pepper Vegan.
Yep, Sweet Pepper Vegan.
She has offered us about 3 or 4 nice dishes inside of our Soul Food Holiday Vegan Guide. So some really cool stuff there. And some of those Jamaican dishes are in here, which is great. That she's learned to Jamaicanize from her husband's heritage. So we really love that. So visit her on Instagram. And of course, you can always visit us on Instagram. We are vegansoulfood.co. You can go to our website, vegansoulfood.co. And of course, we'll just keep seeing you around the group.
Sounds like Kaylin might have
another
comment.
You had something? Or
was there another comment?
Let's see here. They're kind of just discussing. Oh, the name. They asked for the name of the book, so we did that already. Thank you so much. If someone will please answer my question about maintaining size. Okay, Michelle Davis. I don't. I'm not sure. I think. Did you have a question about the diabetes? Is that which? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm having a challenge maintaining weight as a vegan. So here's what I have to say about that. We are actually a vegan soul foodie group. This is not a vegan health group, nor is it a vegan lifestyle group. So we can't answer your questions about that, but there are so many wonderful vegan groups out here that would be willing to give you advice and talk to you about weight and health and all those kind of things. But this is not that group. We are a vegan soul food group. We're about food. We're about fun. We don't watch our calories. We don't food police. We don't talk about portion size or any of that. We're really
exactly.
What'd you say?
I second that, because none of these things are baked with that in mind. It's just a whole bunch of love, okay?
A whole bunch of love. That's a great way to put it.
Food,
so
fun,
just
and fam. Food,
fun, and fam. So keep that in mind, Michelle. I'm sorry we can't answer your question, but there's so much information out there. You can go to healthline.com. That's a great website. It's so many websites and so much information to help you with your weight loss journey. Okay. I'm going to sign off now.
All right, bye.
All righty. Bye-bye.